Good, very good, good, okay, no opinion, bad, very bad, cringe, never heard of. Okay. I don't know how I feel about the tiers on this tier list. I know I can change these. Let's start with something that I know. In fact, I have an automatic top tier. There we go. Luxemburg, top tier. You know how I feel about Rosa Luxemburg. She's great. She's basically, I think, the best you can, the best kind of scholar that you can get under the Marxist sort of label. It's funny that fascism is so hated. They have to keep rearing themselves, like rebranding. Who, I know I'm going to say this for everyone. Who is that person? Glad you asked. Rosa Luxemburg was a prominent socialist theorist in the 19th century. She had correspondences with Lenin. You probably know who that is. Very heavily influenced by Marx. And she was known for refuting a lot of these social democrats at the time who were sort of peeling away from socialism and beginning to say, how about instead of the class war, we do class reconciliation? Instead of actually transcending the system, we work within it to basically try to suppress these contradictions for as long as possible, and we can create a better and more developed society because of it. Modern social democracy obeys a similar philosophy. And she was like, no, you fucking morons. If you focus on the nationalism and you suppress the class conflict, what you're going to create is, and she used this word, National Socialism. And you're going to, like, basically just fucking subsume everything under the artifice of the state that is more, like, mostly just occupied with advancing the interests of capital, and, like, millions will die, minorities will perish. Lo and behold, what happened? The Social Democrats went on to reject socialism. They got subsumed under the umbrella of the capitalist state. They created National Socialism by name and killed millions of minorities. Basically, she's farming them W's, except for the time where she got killed by the Social Democrats, which is also basically what she said would happen, probably. Speaking of which, there's social democracy. But fundamentally, most of what I said about socialism, or basically all of it, is ascribable to Rosa Luxemburg. The one flaw that I see in this, she was not amicable to anarchist philosophies. A lot of the Marxists of the day did not like anarchism very much, which is something for which I could mostly forgive them, because anarchism actually hadn't been very well developed yet as an ideology in the 19th century. It really started seeing success in the 20th century. Anarchism, as much as it's very popular, it's kind of a recent thing from what I've read at the very least. You know, some of the early successful socialist experiments existed thousands of years ago, and up to and including the 20th century. Some of the early anarchist experiments began about in the late 19th to early 20th century, and were then, you know, executed by the state. Hello, Editing Y2K here. This is just one part of a multi-part series of me ranking all the ideologies that I know enough about to comment on. It took place over the course of 2 live streams earlier in the year, and the other parts will be all available on a playlist if you're interested. Please check it out, and thank you for watching.